My name is Marcia, and I am back. Back meaning a couple of things. Main one being that I am back to the channel and to all of you. And I thank you to all of you who stuck around during my 2-year hiatus. I know that's a long time. Another reason why I am back is I am back to focusing on myself and my health. And another way I'm back that I'm not really crazy about is I'm back up to the weight I was. Well, not anymore, because I actually started focusing on my health again on March 2nd, which I have been blogging about on my website. I'll put a link to that in the description below. But I've been doing a daily vlog discussing things I've experienced throughout my new journey here. I don't even want to call it new because it's just me refocusing on my health, where I failed to focus on my health and myself over the last couple of years. So let's talk about where we left off. It was April 2020, and we had just started lockdown a month or so prior. Not even a month. It was only 2 weeks prior that we had started the worldwide lockdown. And of course, being in New York State, we had extra strict restrictions that a lot of other people didn't have at the time. So that affected our business, stuff like that. So actually during this time was when I started focusing on creating alternate streams of income. Because I obviously don't depend on YouTube for it. My income is, I'm a full-time real estate agent. New York State had several mandates that we were required to follow when it came to our real estate business. So I did create other streams of income that are real estate related. First one being a photography business, so that I could go in and photograph properties that we were putting up for sale and stuff like that, and also earn income from other agents hiring me to do the same, because real estate photographers who were not licensed as a real estate agent were not allowed under the New York State mandates to go in to properties. So that did affect our income in the beginning. So by creating this other business, that was another way that we were able to survive during the lockdown. Another business that I worked on creating was an educational business, so that I can help colleagues of mine in real estate get more comfortable with using technology in their business and growing their business. So I took some classes through New York State that allowed me to become a New York State approved instructor for real estate and real estate technology. All of these things meant that I was no longer as focused on myself and my well-being. So over the course of that first year of 2020, during the entire lockdown, I did put on about 10, maybe 15 pounds or so over that year. The second year of the lockdown is where things kind of really went off kilter for me. During this time, because of being on lockdown and we are so used to being able to travel and go do things, we decided to start using our timeshare more often and kind of doing staycation type things. So we have a couple of resorts, within a day's drive for us that we were able to go and use some of our timeshare points so that we could at least get out of the house and not be stuck in our own home. As people who love to travel, being stuck at home and that feeling of you're not allowed to do this and you're not allowed to do that was something we had to escape from. So we did several trips up to Vermont and Massachusetts, and even one down to Virginia, where we visited my mom as well. But with all that stuff, again, not focusing on myself and my well-being, I didn't eat as, I don't want to say clean, but I didn't eat on track, I guess, so to speak, the entire time. As 2021 began, many of you who are returning because you've seen some of my other videos and maybe you have stayed subscribed, which again, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm sure if you've watched any of my videos in their entirety, at the end of every video, I always had some clips of our cats playing. Our cats, Lily and Melody. Lily was an older lady. She was the tabby cat that, well, I called her a tabbyco because she had some little marks that made her look like a calico with the tabby cat stripes. She's a 16-year-old cat, and earlier in the year 2021, she had started to develop some kidney issues. So she wasn't eating as much. She wasn't as active as she had been. She certainly wasn't talking to us as much as she was. So we did take her to the vet and get some blood work done on her, and that's when they diagnosed her with the kidney issues. So we switched her to a kidney diet, and that did seem to help. She was becoming more talkative. She was eating more, and so, she was starting to return to her old self. Around that same time is when we noticed a lump on Melody's neck, that one day the lump was about the size of a lima bean, and the next day, like virtually overnight, this lump went from the size of a lima bean up to about the size of an avocado seed. So it had like 10 times its size from the day before. I automatically assumed it was a cancerous growth. Of course, we didn't know for sure. We scheduled an appointment to get her in to see our vet as soon as we could, which was, I believe, the next day. And that growth did continue to grow and spread throughout this whole process. And while we had been anticipating Lily and her health and what was going to happen because of her health, we never anticipated that Melly, who was only 3 years old at the time, would pass before Lily. So I don't know why I get so choked up here. We did set an appointment to bring Melody to see a specialist, a cancer surgeon, to see if we could have the growth in her neck surgically removed. The growth was impeding on not just her esophagus, but also on her trachea. So she was having a harder time breathing. You could hear her breathing. Like there was a very noticeable change in the sound of her purring, her breath. And again, eventually to the point where she was not able to eat regularly either. And unfortunately, the tumor was inoperable. So we kept her as comfortable as we could for as long as we could until it was apparent that it was the right time to help her move on. And apparently, cats experience depression as well. So Lily, who had just started doing better, she stopped. She just stopped eating. She ended up going and hiding under the bed. Why are you interrupting me?
Because you're making me quiet now.
I know, right? After we helped Melody pass on, Lily apparently became depressed. So she went and she started hiding under the bed in the back bedroom of our house. She wouldn't come out. She wouldn't eat. So because of her also, the health issues, because of the health issues she also had and now she's experiencing depression. We didn't, we, we realized it was also time to help her move on. So within just a couple of weeks of each other, we lost both of our cats. And that was really, really hard on me, on both of us. So I did experience some depression because of that. And since I had already not been focused on my own health and wellness as I had been, I returned to my habits of the binging and emotional eating. So by the end of 2021, I had now put on all of the weight that I had lost over the first 9 months of my starting my YouTube channel here. The highest weight, now actually, let me talk about, I mentioned we were doing some traveling with our points for our timeshare. One of those trips, we ended up going to a resort in Chicago, or in the Chicago area. And while we were there, I don't know if this is a combination just because of the depression and stuff that I was experiencing. This was in October. I had some sort of allergic reaction. Now, when I was a kid and I was on the swim team, part of what made me stop being able to swim competitively was my allergy to chlorine and stuff like that. So it doesn't always affect me. Some pools it doesn't bother me at all. And I don't know if it was actually the pool at the resort we went to or not. But coincidentally, it was after I was in that pool when I, from head to toe, had hives all over my body. And I'll put some pictures in here of what the welts on my face and neck and everything looked like. And I was extremely swollen. So the day we got home from that trip, we didn't even come to the house first. We literally got off the highway and went to my doctor's office. And on that day, when they weighed me, now keep in mind I had all this inflammation, so I had a lot of swelling in my body too. I weighed 355, and that is the last known weight, like the last time I saw what my weight was on the scale. So it's my last documented highest weight. Again, 355, which is 5.1 pounds higher than when I began my wellness journey in 2018 when I started this channel. So it did take nearly a year and a half, a little over a year and a half to gain all that weight back. Most of it happened after we had to help our cats move on. And the depression, and because I was already not focused on my well-being, it was very easy to slip back into my old patterns of binge eating and emotional eating. So that's what brought me to now. Actually, that's what brought me to about a month and a half ago, where I have made a commitment to myself again. I've recommitted to my journey. I didn't want to document the beginning part of it on YouTube because I wanted to prove to myself that I could complete 30 days or more of what I was working on for myself before I started putting it out there for other people to see. I did begin a blog, a written blog. Again, I mentioned I already put that link down in the description below, where I've been documenting every day the journey that I've been on since March 2nd. So in that blog, you'll be able to see everything I've eaten since March 2nd. I've been documenting what I eat every day. There's photos in there of the foods. There's even some recipes that I have worked on as well, and along with more recipes that I plan to write. Um, and once a week, I give a weekly update of how my weight has changed over the course of a week. So that, again, all that's in the blog, out there for people to see. I have also begun, because when I stopped posting on YouTube, I pretty much stepped away from all social media. I was hardly ever on Facebook. If I was on social media, it was only on Facebook. I didn't use Instagram or TikTok or anything when I got away from focusing on me. Now that I'm back, I have been on TikTok and Instagram since March. So I have new photos, new videos on all of those platforms, which I'd love for you guys to check them out. I had been cross-posting some things, so I'm going to try not to do that anymore. I'll probably do most of my what I eat in a day, or like my meals, those videos on TikTok, and then do more photos of maybe just some things around the house, some, a typical day in my life type photos, and maybe photos of the cats and stuff, because after we got home from one of our vacations, we did decide to go adopt some new cats. At first, we had decided that we wanted a bonded pair, preferably female pair. That's what I wanted, was a female pair. And we were hoping to adopt an older cat, because we know kittens are very easy to find a new home for. So we went to a local shelter for cats called 10 Lives Club. And when we walked in, we're not looking for male cats at all. However, for some reason, Ellen actually kept saying, well, let's look at these guys over here. They were younger. They were, kittens, a few months old. And I kept saying, no, they're boys. I don't really want any boys. So I didn't want to go look at them. Finally, I agreed and went over and picked one of them up, and they just snuggled right in. These two boys picked us. They knew for sure that they wanted to come home with us. They were instantly affectionate with both of us, and they're brothers and litter mates. So we, which usually litter mates are not actually what makes a bonded pair, but these two guys are so connected to each other, which again, from a bonded pair, it is exactly what we were looking for. And the joy that they have brought into our life since we brought them home has been amazing. They certainly keep us entertained and make us feel love and affection, because they love all the love and affection we want to give to them. So they devour it and they want more all the time. So they are fantastic. Anyway, that's where I am now. I am now, I believe, 50 days in to my renewal of focusing on me. And yeah, I am going to wrap this up for now. And I look forward to the next video. I've got so many things that I've thought about over the last 2 years that I want to document and share. So I have a ton of ideas of things that I will be recording for you, and I look forward to it. So check out my blog, and I hope you enjoy the new video of our new cats. These guys, they are a year old now, and it is Domino and Checker. That was the names that they had when we adopted them, and we kept them because they were actually very fitting. And since we love to play board games and stuff, we thought they were just great names. So, again, I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Please make sure that you comment or subscribe. It certainly helps the algorithm so that my video gets shown to other people. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next one.